I have 5 rules for happiness, and I think number 5 is most important, so stick around till then. But there's no intro for this video. Let's just start. Rule number 1 is that I am not going to always be happy. And not only will I not always feel happy, but no one always feels happy. And I don't even think that feeling happy all day, every day would even be a good thing. Because happiness is simply an emotion, and emotions come and go. And here's something I would like you to adopt if you're open to it. Emotions are emotions. Some time ago, I was really struggling with anxiety, and I would have these weird, dark, strange, outlandish thoughts, and they would freak me out. But with years of meditation knowledge, I've learned that thoughts are thoughts. When we meditate, we're observing our thoughts. And usually in our day-to-day life, we're kind of chill and peaceful and everything's good. So the thoughts that come up are neutral, like, what am I going to do later? What should I eat later? Should I text so-and-so? All these neutral thoughts that are not positive or negative. These thoughts don't freak us out because they are normal, and we bring our attention back to the breath and forget that they ever came. But when we're anxious and we're meditating or just observing our thoughts are not normal. They're very weird, and they might make us feel a little crazy or that we're doing something wrong. But the antidote is the same whether we're having a normal thought or an anxious thought. Just bring your attention back to the breath. A thought is just a thought. Imagine that every thought has an emotional charge. You might think that a positive thought has a +10 charge, and an excited thought has a +5 charge, and that a sad thought has a -5 charge, and an anxious thought has a -10 charge. But I don't think that's true. Aren't all thoughts just little jolts of electricity in our brain? And if that's true, there is no difference between a positive thought and an anxious thought. A thought is a thought, and the same thing to do, what kind of thought it is bring your attention back to the breath. And where I was going with this whole tangent is that emotions, just like thoughts, are just emotions. We're so inclined to believe that we only need to be thinking positive, happy thoughts, and any kind of negative emotion is a bad thing. But why is a happy emotion better than a negative, sad, anxious emotion? Emotions are emotions. Imagine a big lake, and this lake is at rest, and then a little raindrop falls into the lake, and little ripples extend from the center of the drop out to the edges of the lake. The lake is our being, and emotions are the ripples. But after 10 minutes or so, the lake is back to how it was, as if that emotion never came. Emotions and their toll on us, like that rain droplet in the lake, come and go. And categorizing emotions as bad, we need to stay away from anxious thoughts, and okay, let's invite these positive thoughts, only makes these ripples deeper and last longer. And I want to say that some time ago when I was really sad about some things in my life, by simply closing my eyes and observing the sadness in my body, I learned to actually appreciate sadness as an emotion of itself. I was able to detach from the idea that sadness is a negative thing, that it's a negative emotion, and simply just observe it and its effect on my mind and my body. And I realized that emotions, regardless of what kind they are really beautiful. They're very powerful. They make us feel alive. That feeling of anger you might feel when you're upset about something, sure, it doesn't feel good, but it's such a flavor of life. There's so much more to explore than just the happiness we feel. And sadness can bring about a lot of positive change and creativity. A lot of songs I'm sure you love have came from heartbreak, of sadness, of loss. If you like metal, most people that made metal were just angry about something, and that turns into music that we love. Then you grow from these things. So we cannot shy away from these negative emotions. We need to invite them and feel them. And when you do that, and when I did that, not only did I feel better about myself, but it made me appreciate life more. So much flavor with so many different emotions. I want to explore them all. I don't want to act on my anger or act on my sadness, but simply to just watch it. It feels great. My next rule for happiness is something I must admit to myself. It's actually used better as a journaling prompt. But sometimes I go to sleep not feeling fully happy. Maybe it's a stupid chemical imbalance in my brain. Maybe I didn't eat a banana in the sun today or something. But I ask myself, did I try my best today? If your answer is yes, cut yourself some slack. I mean, if your answer is yes, you did try your best today, genuinely, what else can you do? Being hard on yourself for not being happy doesn't accomplish anything. Today I went to the dentist, and I hate the freaking dentist. So I was in that seat and I was tensing up. My face was all, it just really, my toes are curling. It's not a pleasant experience. But then I was like, that brings me no good. All that tension in my body does not make the process quicker. It does not make it feel less painful or uncomfortable. So I just let it go. and I let my body relax. And actually, dentist was not as bad as it used to be. But it's the same thing here. Being hard on yourself for not feeling happy and wondering why, or maybe I should eat a banana in the sun today, or maybe I didn't exercise as hard enough today. No. If you tried your best today, you'll know it. And trying your best does not mean you had a perfect day, you had 0 grams of sugar, you didn't use your phone at all, you did so much exercise, you meditated for an hour. That's not what trying your best is. You have slip-ups, and by having slip-ups, that shows that you're trying at all. All of us are trying our best. I went over that in my last video. If you wanted to eat some junk food and before you did, you had a little mental battle with yourself of, I told myself I wouldn't eat that, shit, I don't want to eat that. If you had that little mental battle, that shows that you're trying at all. And if you inevitably did give in, you just have to look back and say, why did I give in? Why couldn't I just have said no? I mean, I could say no right now and learn from that. That's trying your best. Just because you ate the chocolate doesn't mean you weren't trying your best. And bad days here and there, today might not be a bad day, but you got to look at the weeks and the months. And over those weeks and months, if you're anything like me, or if you're not, you know that you are trying to improve yourself. I mean, we all are, of course. That's why we do so much of the things we do, because we want to improve ourselves and feel better about ourselves. So you are trying your best. It's about the overall progress. And where I'm going with rule 2 leads me right into rule 3, which is that sometimes we have to accept a fact. And some days, weeks, God forbid months, we're just gonna feel a little not happy, a little gray, a little empty for no explicable reason. And that's okay. I believe that this happens to me for a reason. Sometimes I just feel like a shell of myself, and I gaslight myself into thinking, hey, this is happening for a reason. This is just a bridge to get me somewhere else. And even if I am gaslighting myself or anything, it helps. But all of us experience this downtime where something just doesn't feel right, like we're missing something and we're not fully happy, and that's okay. That's just part of life. We only have so much control over our emotions, but by accepting that sometimes we can't change it, and even if we did do all the good things that would normally make us feel great and happy, we might not feel great and happy, and that's okay. So just simply accept that sometimes you might feel like crap for no explicable reason, and that's okay. Tomorrow is hopefully a new and better day. Rule 4 is that, like I said earlier, we only have so much control over our emotion, but that doesn't mean we're going to hand it over to God or the universe. We do need to have some personal responsibility. Happiness is not a constant state. We've already been over this. But what happiness seems to be is a result of work, a result of exercising, a result of meditating, a result of being around people you love. Our brain seems to reward us when we do things in the real world that benefit us. If our ancestors didn't feel good after they did something productive, there would be no incentive to do anything at all other than just lay around and die. And if I don't feel happy today, I have a certain checklist. Did I exercise today? Did I eat like crap today? Did I talk to a friend today? Did I see the sun today? Did I do conscious breaths today? There's my little checklist. And if some of the answers are no, I'm not necessarily like, what a bad day. It's just like, no, some of those things I can do right now, or tomorrow, hey, I'm gonna make sure that I exercise today. I'm gonna try to eat a little healthier today. Because happiness, again, is a reward in a way. It doesn't come for free, it comes through work. So what are the habits in your life that you know make you feel good? Spend more time doing those. And if you can also think about it, what habits do you do that make you feel bad? Spend less time doing those. And again, sometimes you could say, yeah, I did all those things on my checklist and I did nothing bad today, but again, I feel bad. Bring you back to rule 3, just accept it. Let's move on to rule 5, which is actually something we can do here together. Rule 5 is that I don't have to feel happy, but I must be content and grateful. I have so much. Things that millions of people around the world don't have. Food, water, clothing, shelter. More important things that some of us are still struggling for, like family, relationships, a sense of purpose, financial support, health. And I was in the car with my friend Sebi the other day, and I told him this. I was like, I don't have to feel happy. Like, that's what this whole video is about. But I must be content and grateful because I have so much where I'm at right now. And there is no 100% guarantee that 20 years down the line, my life is going to be better than it is right now. And I hope so. Of course, I hope so. But I can't guarantee that. So I need to appreciate today when I have so many things. I have so much abundance, and just smiling and be like, okay, I'm very grateful for all of these things. We all know that any second, so many things could just come crashing down, and we try not to think about that kind of stuff because it just doesn't really get us anywhere. But right now, we're actually going to do exercise that forces us to think that at some point, something or anything that we love could come crashing down. We're going to do what's called a negative visualization. Now, normally when we do visualizations, it's more positive. We envision ourselves accomplishing something good or something in our life going good. But here, we're going to do a negative visualization to help us appreciate what we actually do have. Now, this is very emotionally powerful, and I recommend, if you're not ready for this, to not do it. But if you're ready, close your eyes with me and just imagine maybe your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend, mother, father, and think about all the times that you've been with them. And think about, if you live with them, they're always in that one spot. You see them there every day. Imagine that they said that they're going to go out and they'll be home at 7 p.m. And 7 p.m. comes and they're not home. 7:30 p.m., they're not home. You call them, no answer. You give them another 5 minutes, no answer. You start freaking out now. An hour passes, nothing. And then 2 hours pass and you get a knock on your door. It's a police officer, and he says that your person was in a fatal car crash and they couldn't be saved on the scene. So many emotions flood your body, and you realize that you will never have another day with this person that you love so much. You'll never be able to talk to them again. You'll never be able to give them a hug, ask them how their day was, get to know them a little bit. You'll never be able to smile with them or have morning, breakfast, coffee, dinner. And you try to sleep tonight, and you almost forget that you're sad. You start thinking, wait, why am I sad again? And then you remember that they're never coming back. And now you can open your eyes and you realize that you have that person in your life right now. And you have the ability to go talk to them, to go hug them. You also know that you would trade all the possessions in your life and all the money in the world to have that person back. But here's the good thing. They're in your life right now. They're a phone call away. They are 10 feet away from your room. This doesn't have to be done with death. It can be done with cheating. Imagine your partner cheating on you. It can be done with imagining that you lost your hand or your feet or your fingers or your face has been in a burning accident. So many things that we have that we just have had for so long that we forget to be grateful for them. And you can open your eyes. You might be shedding some tears, but you can know that you do have this. It makes you feel a hell of a lot more grateful. Because what if you didn't do this practice? What if you have never felt grateful and you wish, and God forbid, seriously, God forbid that this ever does happen to me or to you, we'll wish that we were more grateful for that person, or having our freaking arm, or not having our face be messed up. We have so many things to be grateful for. And if you would like to share it in the comments, please feel free to do so. I'll start with myself. You'll see my comment down there. Those are my 5 rules for happiness. Have a beautiful rest of your day.